Hey everyone, if your videos are looking blurred, the sound is muffled, and it's just excruciating for people to watch your videos, chances are it's the equipment that you are using. So for day 24 of my 90-day video challenge, I wanted to come in and just share with you the budget equipment list that you needed to use in order to start creating videos quickly and easily from your desk, assuming that's where you're going to be. So I wanted to start off talking about this because I know that a lot of people tend to think that they need to have a lot of money to invest in equipment so that they can get the best quality possible. But the truth is, you don't need to do that. Now, if you want to, by all means, you can. Here's an example. Let me see if I can lift this up. I have a DSLR camera by Canon. And I have this really nice fluid head tripod that I can use that allows me to move the camera in different directions, and you can move it back and forth. And this is a really good camera, but I very rarely use it, primarily because of the fact that it requires a lot for me to have to set it up and then take the card out and download the videos. And I just don't have patience for that. I do love and I do use the tripod a lot for my smartphone, which is what I tend to use. But if you want to go ahead and buy that, by all means, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can use the equipment that you have. So the first one would be a web camera. My recommendation on this kind of camera is that you try to get the ones that can record up to 4K. This one is by Logitech, and this particular model records up to 1080p. The one that I am using right now records up to 4K. The other thing that you can use for your camera instead of the web camera is you can use your wonderful smartphone. Pretty much doesn't matter whether it's iPhone, Android, whatever. All of them have extremely really good cameras on them. So I would highly recommend that you use that as well. You can use that in conjunction with another platform in order for you to be able to get it onto your computer. Obviously, if you're an iPhone user and you have an iMac, airdropping it is like a piece of cake. But if you're like me, and I have an iPhone, but I have a PC, then you have to go through a couple of extra hoops. One of the things that I do use is a tool called Camo. And what Camo does is it acts like a virtual camera, if you will. So I plug my phone into Camo, and then through Camo, which is also on my computer, I have the app on my phone, and then I have it on my computer. It syncs up, and then whatever platform, like right now, I'm recording this video through Restream. So if I wanted to, I would then be able to connect this to Restream as an alternative camera. It wouldn't say the name of my phone. It would say Camo. And then that way I would basically be using my phone instead of my web camera. But because my web camera does 4K, I don't need to do that. But if I ever wanted to, I could do that. Now with the upgraded version of Camo, and I'm going to do a video on that. It just dawned on me. With the updated version, I think this just came out this month on PC, because it was always available on Macs. On PCs, you actually can connect your phone and record directly through the app. So that saves you the third party step of having to go to, Restream, Zoom, Big View, like literally any other. You can use it with Camtasia. You can use it with any platform that requires a camera. You would be able to use Camo. That's how I used to use it when it first came out, but they just did an upgrade to it. And now you can record directly into the app itself. Well, not into the app, but the app allows you to record, and it then records and leaves a file on your computer. So I will do a separate video on that because I think Camo is definitely a tool that can be used, and it's budget friendly. It's about $8 a month if you want to use that. And you can use that instead of paying for, if, say, for example, you're using Restream. Unless you're doing a live stream, then that's why you would need a Restream or a StreamYard or a Riverside or any of those. But if all you're going to be doing is recording directly to your camera and you want to then edit that video and do what you need to do with it, then I would recommend using Camo. Because Camo is sort of like, if you're familiar with OBS, it's sort of like OBS. The only difference is OBS is free. And maybe I'll do a video on that one too. So besides the tools that you would need, or the equipment that you would need for your camera, you would then also need to capture your audio. So to capture your audio using a webcam, you want to use something like what I'm using, which is a USB microphone. It just basically means it's a microphone that does not plug into the phone jack. It plugs into the USB port in the back of your computer. And the reason why you need to use that is because that is the best way to capture the cleanest audio possible. The other thing that you can do if you're using a smartphone is you want to use a wireless lavalier mic. You can use a wired one, but you have to just make sure that you can get a cord that's long enough, because the distance between you and your phone might be 5, 6, 7, 8 feet. You never know. And so you just want to be able to stretch it. But it really makes sense for you to do and use a wireless one, because they have they've been affordable for quite some time. So there's really no reason not to. And a lot of them do come automatically with the windscreen on it. So this works if you want to take this outside and it happens to be a breezy day, it will tone that down. The next thing that you're going to need is to put your phone, if you're not using a webcam, because the webcam can obviously be mounted to your monitor. I have a regular PC monitor on my desk, so I can position it at eye level if I want. I also happen to have a desk that rises, so I can go up or I can come down with my desk. So if you have something like that, that would work. If you're using a laptop, I would recommend that you put your laptop on a stand, or you put some books underneath it, in order for you to make sure that you are at eye level, because that's crucial in order for you to seem as if you are speaking to the person that's watching your videos. So that's what I would do for a webcam. For a smartphone, you need to have it on some kind of a tripod. So I have a number of them. I don't think you can see this one. You can see maybe a little piece of this one, but this is like a snake mount that I have clamped to my desk. And this is where I would attach my phone, and I can position it landscape or vertical, depending on what type of video I want to create. So that's if I wanted to sit at my desk and I knew that that's the position that I wanted it to be in. It is flexible enough for me, well, not flexible. It is clamped to my desk, so I can unclamp it and move it to different sides of my desk if that's what I wanted. Right now, it's sort of in between my two monitors. That's usually the spot that I will use it from. But if I ever wanted to do a different angle, it's not that difficult for me to do. If I wanted, say, for example, to do it in another room, or maybe I was going someplace and I was going to be stationary and I wanted to, maybe I'm speaking at an event and I wanted to, have the event that I'm speaking at filmed while I'm on stage, then you need a tripod. Now, this particular tripod is literally a light tripod. And I don't mean light as in weight light. I mean as in lights light. And all I did was attach this piece here, which has this ball on it, and it makes it movable. So when you loosen it, it allows you to position the tripod holder or the phone holder in a number of different directions. So this gives you a lot of flexibility as well. You can also do that kind, or maybe this kind of a phone holder, and clamp it to the tripod that I showed you where the DSLR was on. So Tripod is definitely a mandatory because it is the only way that you're going to be able to film yourself stationary from any particular vantage point. There is another tool that I neglected. I hope it's in here. And it's called Pivo. And I don't think it's in here. I think I took it out. I took it out. I think I took it out. Let's see if it's in here. Yeah, I took it out. But it's called Pivo. And what Pivo is Pivo is a tool that you basically, if I had it here to show you, you would take this can then be screwed on top of or clamped onto a tripod. And what makes this helpful is that you can put your phone in it. As you can see, it allows you to put your phone in it and it will then move with you. So this is what I would use when I go out and I speak in person. I have this set up on a tripod and then I set it up so that as I'm walking, it moves with me. So this is another, you don't have to purchase this. It's really only beneficial if you are going to be filming somewhere where you're moving. If you're going to be doing that, that works. And by the way, Camo actually has that built in as well. I'll show that to you when I do that video. So that's it when it comes to tripods. They are extremely affordable. You can get whatever type makes sense for you. You can also even get, if you're going to be vlogging and you know that you want to walk, there are definitely tripods that come with cameras as well that are monopods, but they're more on a gimbal, meaning that as you move, it's going to keep it stationary. And that is definitely something that you would need if you're going to be walking around and vlogging. The last thing that you're going to need is lighting. And the cheapest, most affordable light is natural light. So if you're in a well-lit room that has a lot of windows, then in all probability, you're good to go. All that you really need to make sure that you're doing is that the source of the light that is lighting you is coming from behind the camera. So the camera's back is facing the source of light. It's okay if you have light on the sides of you, but you should not have light behind you. If there is a window behind you, you would need to draw the drapes or pull down the blind to subdue that light a little bit, because it will just bleed you out. All you would see is light. It just would not make sense. So you just need to make sure that the source of the light is behind you. If for whatever reason you're not in a well-lit area and the ceiling light or the ambient light that you have is still not enough, then in that case, you're going to need to purchase some kind of lighting. And that is all going to be based on the size of your room, how many lights you think you would need based on the size of your room. So my room right now, I think it's like a 15 by 15-ish room. And so I currently have a box light to my left that is sort of lighting this side of me. I don't have a direct light on this side. I do have a light that's shining to light up that side of the desk because it was a little dark when I came in. And then what's in front of me that you can see when I go like that is a ring light. And I bought this ring light back when it was the thing to buy, not remembering that I wore glasses and that the reflection was going to be killer. But at this point, the reflection isn't bothering me that much. But typically what I would do on certain days, today is actually fairly sunny, but because I have my windows look out to a porch that's covered. So it's never going to be truly, truly, truly bright in here because of the fact that the light's not coming this way into me. But typically what I would do with my ring light is I usually have it a little bit higher, and then I have it on what was a microphone stand. So it has a second arm that is movable. And so sometimes I'll have it where it's more casting down so that it lights from this way, and you're not seeing it as much in my glasses, but I didn't do that today. Today's lighting is slightly different than what I used to do previously. So that's it. So you can use your smartphone, you can use your web camera, you can use a microphone that is a USB microphone if you are using your web camera, and you can use a lavalier wireless mic if you're using your smartphone. And then as far as your tripods are concerned, you don't really need one if you're using your web camera. You can just mount it on your computer. If you're using a laptop, then you would need to put it on a stand or put some books underneath it, whatever you need to do in order for you to get the camera at eye level. And then as far as your smartphone is concerned, you can use whatever tripod suits you. There is no, oh, you have to do this one. It is totally up to you and the number of different cameras that you would be using it for. So they're so affordable. They're like $20. It's not that difficult. I like to have multiple ones just because I don't know what the circumstance might be for me to record. And then finally, when it comes to lighting, all you need to be concerned about is base it on where are you going to be filming from for the most part. And so if you are going to be in a well-lit room that has nice windows, that has, during the daylight, it's really bright in that room, then you don't need to buy any lights. If it's a somewhat dark or unpredictable room, then you might want to either invest in box lights, and those are soft box lights. And what those are, it's like 4 lights within one. And then you have this soft filtered screen that goes over it to sort of mute and soften the light. And so it sort of makes it a little broader in terms of the direct light that you're getting. And those are like 2x2s. Or maybe, 1.5 by 1.5 somewhere. I've never measured them. I need to measure them. And then obviously if you want to do a ring light, but these lights are old. These lights are old. There are so many newer lights that are out there that are small, that are compact, that are easy to either leave up and they just won't be that cumbersome, or you can pack them away and then unpack them when you need them because they're maybe desk type lights. So that's all that you would need and you're good to go. But to start off with, I would start with natural light and see how that works for you. All right. So until tomorrow for day 25, I will see you. And please leave comments if you have any questions whatsoever. And if you are not comfortable being on camera, doing direct to camera videos, which is basically what this presentation was or video was about, then join me for my Embrace Visibility workshop. I have one coming up in October and another one in November, where I will work with you for 90 minutes and make sure that you walk away with 2 completed faceless videos using AI tools. So if you want to get started with that, click the link in the description below. And I look forward to seeing you either in October or in November or both, because they're going to be on 2 different tools that I love using. Hedra for October and Gamma for November. And it's Gamma and Camtasia Online for November. All right. Take care. See you later.